Welcome back to the Black Lady Media Club. Hello, everyone. I am Nene.
D.
And I'm Yan.
And today we are doing the March Book of the Month titled The Art of Scandal by... Who's it by?
Regina Black.
Regina Black. Yes, ma'am.
I think this is her Is this her debut novel?
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into the discussion, I am going to read the synopsis, I'm sure, very revealing synopsis, and then we're going to get into our discussion. The quote on the top of the synopsis says, "Love would be so much easier if it were perfect. ... All right, here we go. On the night of her husband Matt's 40th birthday, Rachel Abbott receives a sexy, explicit text from her husband that she quickly realizes was meant for another woman. Again, I went into this blind, y'all, so I did not know. I didn't read none of that. So I did not know.
I knew that at least.
I did not know a single thing.
I didn't read the rest of it, though.
We're going to get to it. Hold on. Divorce is inevitable. And Rachel is determined not to leave her 13-year marriage empty-handed. Meanwhile, Matt, a rising star mayor with his eye on the White House, can't afford a messy split in the middle of his re-election campaign. They strike a deal. Rachel gets $1 million in their lavish house in the wealthy D.C. suburb of Oasis Springs, as long as she keeps playing the ideal black trophy wife until the election. Then Rachel meets Nathan Vasquez, a very handsome, very lost 26-year-old artist, and their connection makes Rachel forget about being the perfect politician's wife. As Rachel reawakens Nathan's long dormant artistic aspirations, their attraction becomes impossible to resist. But secrets are hard to keep in a town like Oasis Springs, and Nathan has a few of his own. With the risk of scandal looming and their hearts on the line, they'll have to decide whether the possibility of losing everything is worth taking a chance on love. It's really crazy. The Art of Scandal is a sizzling, conversation-starting debut about rekindling passion, the transformative power of art, and finding love in unexpected places. All right. So
I feel like that synopsis wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was long, but it wasn't like on the top of the books that we read, at least.
I feel like it still be too much.
Yes, it's still too much.
But hey, to each its own. I mean, I gotta roll with the punches. I don't make them. I don't make the synopsis. So it is what it is.
That's why I don't read them. Exactly.
I'd rather just not know nothing about the book. I'm like, oh, romance. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. Y'all like it? All right, I'm gonna read it. But anyways, so how do y'all feel about The Art of Scandal?
Very, very conflicted.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I just felt like there were certain parts of the book that I really enjoyed reading. And I was like very immersed in it. And there were some parts that I kind of like, I guess certain styles of writing didn't like, I didn't hate, but I didn't like vibe with the most. I felt a lot of times whenever, especially introducing new characters, her style, the author's style was kind of like, I'm going to have like a page or two of dialogue before I even introduce who this character is, before I even explain who this character is, which is like, it's not that I hate that. It just sometimes I feel like most characters that she did it with, it just felt like I was confused on who was talking. I was confused on who I was listening to.
Yeah.
And so like that was one thing. And then certain things, I guess this is not like a writing thing that irritated me. It's just like a personal thing. I just felt like it was too much going on.
Yeah.
It was a lot more than I anticipated going on. Like I felt like there was enough like juiciness and half of the scandals going on, or like half of the conflict going on, and then it just kept like upping and upping to where it just got kind of convoluted to me, a little bit. It's like, one, we could have like having her date somebody younger, like significantly younger, is already like a scandal in itself.
Right.
Her man cheating on her is another scandal in itself.
Right.
We could have did without, personally, we could have did without that younger man also being like the child of someone that she knows. That's another scandal within itself.
Right.
And then someone that hate her.
I agree.
It was just like,
and it felt like, in my opinion, I feel like it was like the stakes were high and low at the same time. It was like I wasn't invested enough to care about the stakes so much, certain stakes, right? First of all, I did not realize that Nathan was that young to the end of the book. I thought he was like maybe like 4 years younger than her. Like I thought, okay, I'll give it this. We knew Nathan's age. I did not know what Rachel's age was. So I'm thinking
we didn't
Rachel,
know how Rachel was.
And it's because she said that she had Faith young, but she did say what age she had Faith. I think she was like 15, 16, something like that when she had Faith.
Yeah.
But they never said how old Faith was now until towards the end of the book. And so I was like,
they said it closer to the beginning of
child, I missed it then.
But yeah, it's a lot of
I thought Rachel was 32, 33.
It was a lot of stuff that, like, I was like, okay, I think I realized how old they did not, I don't think she explicitly said how old Rachel was until closer to the end, but I did like stop and was like trying to calculate, because whenever she was dropping Faith off or like driving her towards the beginning of the book, she did say that her daughter was 20 years old. I'm like, 20?
Right.
20. Oh, and there's another thing on top of everything else. Why make the love interest and the daughter and her daughter closer in age?
Yeah.
And it just felt weird to me. Like, we didn't have to do this. We didn't have to.
Yeah, that was definitely unnecessary.
Her daughter is so grown. Like, she could have had her daughter be like 15 or something.
Like, that could have been Faith's man.
Like,
that probably should have been Faith's man.
So it's just like, it's just a lot of stuff that I just couldn't see. I just couldn't see if I was in Rachel's position. I couldn't see still going through with this relationship with this young man.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to like an older woman dating a younger man. I'm not opposed to that, as long as they're like, it
ain't weird.
Yeah, above, like, I would say above 25. Like, I'm like, okay, that it's fine. That's when I stopped like feeling so weird about it. But it's just like it just felt like there was everything possible to make it as weird as possible.
Yeah, I agree. It was like, so what's gonna really have the girls gagging?
Yeah.
And guess what else? What else? Like literally, and to top that, it's like, okay, we get it. Like, this is a forbidden love. We get it. How you feel about it, T?
I'm conflicted about how I feel. I don't know. I can't really say how I feel. I'm not sure, because I'm not sure. I was definitely not in the mind space to read the book. It was very hard to read it. Not because the book was boring, not because the book was bad. I think I personally was in like a reading slump. So I got easily irritated by reading it. Not necessarily by the plot, but I just was not in the mood to read the book.
I feel that.
So it did feel like there was a lot of things involved. I did get kind of lost with the characters that were introduced, and the characters that were introduced were kind of in and out. So sometimes it was difficult to keep up with who was who.
Yeah.
I know in a political type of book, that's kind of, politics have a lot of moving parts. So, and a lot of people involved, especially if you are trying to build up this world and make a scandal feel meaningful. So, but listening to it, and then another thing, I was listening to it, and at some point, I was gonna say, okay, you're doing it to yourself. But it's so hard to, especially when I'm not in the mood to read. It's so hard to sit down and read whenever you're so busy. You're not in the mood, so you're not even willing yourself to pick up the book.
Yeah.
So the voice acting was fine. That didn't deter me. But yeah, it was a lot of things involved. I feel like the characters made simple things complicated.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the characters did not use good enough strategy for their age and like approach to things that would be beneficial to them in the long run. I think everybody was reckless, but that's the nature of the plot. So
Right.
that didn't bother me. It just was like some things could have been more thought out by the characters, especially with the stakes being high. I feel like because they were so reckless, nothing really happened. Make those high stakes feel plateaued or
Exactly.
almost meaningless sometimes.
Yeah.
So I feel like there were a lot of things that could have made like this huge impact and it kind of fizzled. As other things were more important at the time.
Right. I agree.
Then certain things just kind of fell off. Certain things that were supposed to be really impactful really hit like I thought it would because there were so many things building up, and the things that I was expecting to make the biggest impact, other things did.
Right.
So we're just kind of trying to figure out where we were supposed to care and where we were supposed to kind of like move with the pace of the plot.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be just like in the like things going on in the background and things that we're supposed to wait for, like a follow through, I guess. Yeah, it was entertaining. I didn't hate it. It was entertaining enough. I did like the plot and where it was supposed to be going, and I did want to know what was going to happen.
Yeah, it was like I've read the book very fast, except for like I read 90% of the book very quickly, like in 2 days, and I was reading it physically. Well, I was reading the ebook. I was just like, I did feel like a lot of things were like pretty silly in people's like actions and reactions, but I did want to know what was happening, and I only stopped when I got to a part that really irritated me. So I closed the book until like actually finish it for the podcast. But yeah, it was like interesting. It kept me like really like interested into what was going to happen with the plot as a whole.
Yeah. Waiting for the ball to drop was,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That kind of stuff I'd be like, I gotta stop reading when I know it's about to get people about to get exposed. I can't deal with that. I have to force myself through that kind of stuff. I just
Yeah.
But
very, very secondhand embarrassment.
Right. But well then let's just go on and do our character analysis then. And we will do the character analysis of obviously the two main characters, right? Faith and Beto. Now Beto, number one. So Nathan and Rachel. So we'll start with Rachel, obviously. personally, Rachel, I liked Rachel. I thought that Rachel. I didn't dislike her. I do think she definitely gave like she gave like, you know how like there'll be like, what's that lady from Greece? What's her name from Greece who went to hair school with the short hair?
Oh, someone R.
Yeah, her. Yep.
Roz. It wasn't Roz.
It's something like that. It's something like that.
Yeah.
It's giving her. It's giving like, smoke cigarette. Back in my day, I used to be hot stuff.
Yeah.
I used to do this. You would be amazed at what I used to do. Like, it's like, okay, girl, we get
it. Worst things I could do.
Like, why did you marry that man?
No, like literally, why did you marry that man?
Like, okay, I'm understanding. Oh, they loved each other. They was cute, like, or they felt cute or whatever. But like, I'm just like, I don't know. But as a whole, I liked Rachel's character. I think that Rachel was down to earth. I think Rachel was, I don't know, sympathetic.
Rizzo.
What'd you say?
Rizzo.
That's right.
I think so. It's like I'm looking at it, but
right. But
I'm looking at it, but it feels slightly off too.
Maybe something like Razzie.
Rizma. Rizma is pretty wild.
See her name.
But I feel like right, it don't even matter. I feel like I think Rachel was cool. Like I said, I just felt like she just was so reminiscent. She gives to me maybe Pisces or Scorpio.
Okay.
Just because she seems so like in the clouds a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's the reminiscent part is giving me Scorpio, but the dreamer, like, just, you know, I don't know. And then she's artistic too. So I just feel like that gave either Pisces or Scorpio or whatever. But I feel like she was cool. I liked her character. And I loved when she got into her revenge era. Like I love that she stood on business. She immediately was like, oh, hell no. And it was like, so the only option is divorce. Like, I love that she went straight there. Mm-hmm. Because it's just like, you know, a lot of times they be like, what do I do? That's my man. And she was like, divorce, don't care that she don't have $1 in the bank. She probably don't even have a bank account. Like, she was just like, it is what it is. I will be homeless before I sit up here and be in this house with this man who's blatantly cheating on me. And I'm like,
it's crazy.
I'm like, yeah, girl.
That's crazy.
You did right. So I liked her character. And I love that she did not stop messing around with Nathan. So that's how I feel about her. She cool in my book. How'd y'all feel?
How about you, Z?
I'll say I didn't dislike Rachel. I was with her for the most part. Gripes with Rachel is just, I know by that time she just didn't care. And I get that. Because I too was happy that she was ready to dead it as soon as she realized what was going on. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, girl, leave this man where he's staying. I love that. That's my favorite part. But I just feel like if she chose to stay, or for the deal that they made, and for her to have money, for her to have some sort of security leaving this relationship, because she chose to sign that prenup because she was so in love and didn't, you know. And, you know, she had some kind of, like, she had her own issues going into why that was okay for her.
Right.
But I just feel like her being 40, what was it, 46?
36.
Still 36.
It was 36?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes.
She went in her 40s?
No.
Mhm.
It was Matt's 40th birthday. She was
Yeah.
36.
Her being 36,
That
I just
changed your
feel like
perspective, don't it?
48.
a little bit. A little bit. But I just feel like if you're trying to secure something that you know is really touch and go, this man, the politician, he has power, his family has power. You came in this with literally nothing. And so that you're not destitute by the end of this, I thought that she would at least try to be low key
She did try.
about
Yeah.
She
anything dealing
tried
with
her
Nathan.
hardest, see.
She did not try.
But she could be away from
That
a man
lady
too
She
did
long.
ain't
not
give up.
try. That lady was so deprived over the years that she
Yeah.
was with her husband that the taste of any excitement or any desire, any like any pleasure, she jumped at it.
She's like, "You're a
Like
bad boy. Let's get in that
she
car."
did not care. She didn't care. She was like her nose was completely open.
Sure
Her nose was
was.
wide open.
She was ready to end it
And I
all,
just
low key.
that part of
It was
it just
like,
made me that part of it just like kind of made me nervous for her because I didn't want stuff blowing up
mhm.
before she was able to get some sort of leg in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting her to get like exposed at any point because
Right.
she just was not taking any precaution.
Yeah.
She wasn't. And that part was my biggest frustration for her. Reading her. Like I
Mhm.
understand why she was so gung ho. I understand that she was sticking it to Matt, and if he gets to do whatever he wants whenever he wants to do it, he doesn't have to be conspicuous because people will cover up for him.
Right.
And if he was exposed, he's a man, so
It's gonna be different.
he wouldn't get as big of a consequence for him cheating on his wife, especially if she's deemed not perfect.
Right.
She already black, she was already poor, she already came in people thinking that she was wild
Mhm.
because of
Mom.
her style that had to be toned down, her being a young mom. Like she had to be the perfect person once she married him. So him messing up with a woman of his caliber, it
That big of a
wouldn't get
deal.
no flack for it.
Now he ain't
Yeah.
gonna be the president. He probably wouldn't have been the president in this universe, but
Yeah, but he would get a slap on the wrist. He wouldn't be able to become president.
he'd
Or
probably
maybe
still
he
be the
could.
mayor,
He will definitely be the mayor. He'll definitely win
and
again.
he might be the governor.
Like, absolutely. So I just feel like I get her looking at him and him being able to do whatever it is he wants. She's like, well, I'm gonna do whatever I want because why do I have to be perfect?
That was
And
me.
he get to flounce around at all these big um events and take the woman into the nearest broom closet or abandoned office.
Yeah.
That's
And
heinous.
people see, but there's no news stories about it.
Right.
But as soon as she does something, as soon as she wears the wrong color, she has on the what was it?
Green.
Delilah. What was it?
It was a
I don't know what it
green.
was. That little
Oh, a
that brooch
dahlia,
that
black
said that
dahlia.
Oh, the rose on her
Black
hair.
Dahlia.
Oh yeah, the flower. I
As soon as
mean,
she
yeah.
does something that like makes a statement, oh, she's a whore. She's the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
So I get her throwing caution to the wind, thinking about him and all the allowances he gets, but being strategic, her knowing that she does not have that privilege, sh- I just feel like she should have given herself a better chance at securing it, even though it did not work out for her. But that stuff is so touchy.
Right.
So that part is just like, Rachel, please, why would you walk through the front door with this? You know, you walk through the front door, everybody knows it's you. You walk out the front door to that man's car. Face get in the driver's seat, goes a couple blocks down, and is sitting laughing and giggling inside this man's face
That's
in
crazy.
front of the public.
That's crazy.
She right. I don't see no
Almost
wrong.
mad she wasn't caught. She wasn't caught before.
Literally.
Yeah. I'm surprised she wasn't though.
I'm glad she wasn't caught. I'm glad she was able to live her life freely. But that part about it was just like,
It got to the point where I was like, they
just
ain't
waiting
never
on her
gonna
to
get
get
caught,
caught.
child. Then people, this town not as small as they think it is. They just be doing
right? They was
everything.
have to tell themselves,
And they did.
and they did. At the end, they had to do it.
You're like, dang, don't nobody care?
Like nobody's
It's
finding
me.
out yet.
I'm with him. Y'all don't care. She loved me.
Like, no, girl, please.
Like, girl, we move on. How you feel about it, yeah?
Who cares?
I like Rachel. I empathize with her character. I
Oh, you hate her. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, join the club. I'm just
I
playing.
literally don't hate her. I just think that I don't understand her choices a lot of the time.
Yeah, I get that.
Because, like, I don't understand her. Well, I guess I can roundabout understand her choice to marry Matt because one, they were like, it was like a quick whirlwind love, but also she was a single mother and he promised her things.
Mm-hmm.
He had money. And he promised to take care of her. So I understand that. But at the same time, like when she describes her younger self, she describes herself as like just so like unpredictable and so like
I'm different.
Like she was a fairy.
And bold.
Like very much that. I don't know, like the tone of it. Did y'all watch Little Fires Everywhere?
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
She reminded me of Carrie. I was a Carrie Hilson.
Yep.
Girl, please let
It's
that
the
woman
pretty
rest.
girl. Do the pretty girl.
Hey.
She reminded me of Carrie Washington's character in that show.
Yep.
A little bit.
I mean, I feel like she remind me of Kerry Washington anyways.
Yes. I feel like maybe that was the inspiration. Maybe that was a Kerry Washington, Olivia Pope.
Yeah.
But in the show, her like one of the plots. I'm not really spoiling much, but it was like she was an artist, and it was very cut between her current self and her flashbacks of like how she used to be, how her college days and stuff like that. And so that aspect reminded me of that. And also in Little Fires Everywhere, her character makes very erratic decisions. So you can understand what is happening, like why she does it. But it's really like how did we get here a little bit? And so that's what it was reminding me of. But it's just like you were so passionate and so spontaneous, and then you agreed to this lifestyle of dulling yourself. I just can't fathom, like I can't imagine agreeing to marry a politician and agreeing to like be a politician's wife and not expecting for others to dull yourself,
right,
in comparison to this man, and also in comparison to this white man. Like it just
and he gets to do what he wants.
So that is already like, I don't understand like this desire, this feeling to want to be with this man in the first place. And also like, you know, fast forwarded to like the whole realizing he's cheating and all of that. First of all,
So
what do you mean? What do you mean I planned this birthday party for you?
Didn't she make that cake?
Yes, she made that cake herself.
Like it was his favorite cake, and she was just telling him like in therapy, like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna try harder because I've been, you know, being real stickler.
We can't even get into that.
I would have, first of all, I would have hit a break. I would have hit a mental break. And he would have suffered the consequences.
This is what I'm saying. I ain't
Yeah,
give a
well,
F
no,
what Rachel was
he
doing
would've-
because he really played in her face.
He did for years. For years, he gaslit her knowingly. You can't
Like,
tell me he
that's
didn't
crazy.
know.
That's crazy.
Years.
He didn't know what.
Framed it so that the therapist thought that the therapist was in line with him and was blindsided whenever, you know. I mean,
Right.
but she probably had her own biases anyway.
Of course.
But
clearly.
Like just for her to be the only one in who is speaking the reality of their situation, especially whenever she's trying to save it and he kept dismissing it and he kept making everything her fault and he kept like he was irritated with her all the time and she's making all these concessions for him and then for the end for him to be like, oh we can save
our marriage. But our marriage.
Yeah, he would have been.
I'm like,
they
the way I've been acting,
vote for
baby.
him.
This marriage ain't sacred no more.
I want to vote for him because he would have been on his deathbed.
Marriage if you try.
Slowly.
You wouldn't want this marriage. If you knew what I've been doing, you wouldn't want this marriage.
But that man would have been decaying slowly.
Literally slowly.
To her, like, find out about the infidelity. And then, you know, going out drunk the whole night, which again, how to know when
you're in a blacked out, double tinted, bulletproof Suburban.
I don't know one spot and then take photos of the black mayor's wife
barefoot
being
in
drunk.
a slip.
She outside.
Exactly.
You got a cig in one hand.
Can I please get a refill of this drink? No.
Drink in the other.
No.
Like, she would have been in the tabloids
for
like
sure.
The very next day.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. And when she's smoking like something with Nathan out there.
Yeah.
Exactly. She definitely would have been. Yeah.
But
again, I don't find no fault. No fault.
No. Again,
she was right.
No, she's not at fault.
Personal,
she was right.
The problem that I have with Rachel is not the individual decisions themselves overall, because I understand she was in a bad space, and I understand the decisions in a vacuum. However, from the beginning, the premise of the book is that she strikes a deal with her husband to get $1 million out of this marriage.
Man, she was
$1 million in her house. This marriage.
Girl.
She ain't mean that.
And so
she couldn't believe she said that.
She made past that did not align with the deal that was the premise of the book. To like, she deliberately went against anything that was going to get her what she said she was owed.
I feel like that was the point. Like, the fact that she was so swept up in what was going on with Nathan that she was being so reckless. I think that was the point. Like, she wasn't supposed to be the dutiful wife anymore because she didn't care anymore. She felt betrayed. And so she was just like, I really don't care. Like, she even after the next morning after that, she's burning cigarette holes in his suits or whatever she was doing. And she was like, I cannot believe I did that. Like, this is crazy. Why am I still here? I think she was like, she knew that she should have, or she felt like she should have continued being the dutiful wife so she can get the money in the house. But I felt like her subconscious was like, girl, you know you ain't supposed to be here. Like, you need to get up out of here. Like, I don't think she really wanted to do that. And so I think that was the whole point. Like, I feel like the purpose of the book, or not the purpose of the book, but the message behind the book is kind of like the two main characters constantly fighting what they actually wanted to do and not going along with their own, like, what, you know, like what they want to do and doing what they feel like they're supposed to do or what may seem right or whatever. And then how being together kind of forces them to do what they should do as far as what their body, their mind, their soul wants them to do. So I don't think it's out
I
of
appreciate that.
I don't think it's wrong or weird that she would have acted out and like recklessly when it comes to Matt and her deal, because
Mhm.
you know she's supposed to be not wanting to do it. She didn't want to do that, and that was the whole thing. She needs to find her own way.
I get that,
I
and I
agree with
appreciate
you.
that. I think I would have appreciated also just a little more, like, I guess,
Strategy.
close calls instead of it's crazy that no one saw y'all. Like the plot armor of no one saw y'all.
Yeah.
I think I would appreciate it more, like, um, more deliberate deception in her actions.
I feel that.
At least like kind of leading up to it, her getting like sloppier and sloppier. Instead of like her being sloppy from the beginning.
She said, "Oh."
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of you. I understood that she didn't want to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
understood that she had such a part of it was self-infliction, like very calculated, very scheduled, very rigid life had turned into with her being with her husband, and her ultimately going through sacrifice and sacrifice because learning that she was never that type of person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching him being reckless and her not having the opportunity and to her being reckless. But I also would have appreciated, because it was a big stakes thing for her. Like what you saying, I would have appreciated either her gradually, or maybe not even gradually, like slowly, but the steps into her not, like, outwardly not caring,
Mm-hmm.
at least publicly.
Yeah.
I can damage your clothes behind these doors, so that doesn't affect you publicly. It doesn't affect me publicly. You know what I'm saying? If the goal here is to, keep up appearances so I can get my money and ownership of that house that you left me to design and take care of, because I don't like you. I hate you now.
Yeah.
There's nothing keeping me holding this facade when it comes to our relationship privately and personally.
Right.
But on the outside, I would have appreciated her you seeing her try to keep that deal happening for herself, because the whole deal was for herself. The only reason why she made the deal was to secure herself, not for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if she was, we wouldn't have had an issue with her being that reckless from jump. If she was caught early on and we made Matt's team spin the story over and over again until she just did something that just made it like, just
You can't come back from
there's no
this.
way you can
Yeah.
spin this. You
Yeah.
can't come back from something so egregious, something so big. Like, I can see her like doing little things to give him the fu, and making him scramble and work for his side of the deal, and her giving him the middle finger like that, or her torturing him behind closed doors and not being nice to him in front of the workers, and making sure he feels how she feels, even if she were to sneak Nathan in conspicuously and having him in the house. I would have been able to, like, it would have made more sense for me if she did things to where, if she did things and there were consequences, minor ones, but not just there. Like, anytime she's with Nathan, it's like they're in another country,
Mm-hmm.
and she flew back home to deal with the reality of her life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
really like that she had the opportunity to, like, get away from him and have some happiness, and remember her passions and remember who she was before her marrying him, and understanding that she was in a vulnerable position, and realizing how young she was and how fast it happened, and
Mm-hmm.
like, just coming to grips with the decisions that she made that kind of led up to her being in the position that she was in. But I just feel like it kind of felt like the easy, not, it wasn't easy, but it kind of felt like everything she was doing was just, she was walking around with a shield on
Period.
up until the end, whenever it had like an AK and was just like shooting at her
If
chest.
you're gonna shoot, if you're gonna shoot me, then shoot me.
Straight.
What's this reference?
You better, I don't know.
I don't know what that's from. It's an old lady, off of something that I seen before, and she always mean, and she was like, "If you're gonna shoot
It was
me, then
Star.
shoot me." It was Star,
Yeah.
and it was like, "Bah, bah, bah, bah."
Yeah. I don't know if you
I didn't watch
watched
that season.
Insert meme now.
If you're gonna shoot, bitch, do it!
Yeah, I don't know if you watched it part, but somebody died. She was like, "You better shoot straight," and then
Yeah, and they shot
They
real
shot-
straight,
Boom.
real straight. Well, I don't know.
But yeah, no, it makes sense for her to be, for her to make rash decisions and like live free for herself. But I felt like there was a way to do it that also show her priority and her own security,
there's a way to go.
because she never really had that security. Like, that's a big thing too.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a big thing with her characterization, is that she was never secure. She never had
Right.
security emotionally. She never had security financially. She never was stable.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that that part for her would have been big enough for her to have some discretion outwardly, even if she crashed out behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Then again, we
Same.
know that
Led up to her like just busting at the seams.
we know that she's just like always been impulsive.
That's
So is
Yeah.
it in her character to really think rationally about what she's doing? Because
I
even her
guess.
marriage
Well, I'm
to
not
Matt
saying
is
it's-
very impulsive.
I
I'm not
guess
saying
it
it's
was-
her. I'm not saying it was in her characterization for her to be rash. I'm just saying it was in her characterization for her
To not
to
be stable.
to cling to stability, because part of her rashness was the stability that she thought she was gaining from Matt.
Yeah.
And also, she kept being like, the only times half the book I kept forgetting that Faith was a person.
Yeah.
And when she was like, "I want to do this for my daughter" or something, like, I gotta make sure she okay. And then she go and get in somebody's car. It's like, or she like she get this money because
Actually, Faith will be all right.
because she want her and Faith to be okay. But it's like, are your actions reflecting what you want for your daughter?
Yes.
Because
She wants her
how the only
daughter.
discipline you have.
She wants her daughter to be happy. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's move on to I almost said Julian. What's his name? Nathan. Let's move on to Nathan. Personally, first of all, Nathan. Okay, so this is my only gripe. Okay. I thought Nathan was black at first. I'm not gonna lie. I feel race fished once again.
You heard his name was Nathan Vasquez and you said black.
I didn't know his last name. So listen, when they said Vasquez, then I was like, oh wait, maybe not, but maybe he could still be black, last name Vasquez.
That is true.
But
I know a few of them.
You know a few black Vasquez? Period.
Go with a couple.
But I mean, just the cover of the book, the guy looks black. He looks more black than she does in the cover of the book to me. I had a different cover than you have, Z.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so I had the other cover, and the other cover, he was darker than she was. And so I went into it thinking that the love interest was black. So first of all, when we started off with a
I roll.
when we started off with a pale genital in the phone, I was a little confused because I'm like, well, that's not what's on the cover.
Yeah, first of all, I think I don't know why I or like had the thought that maybe the love interest, maybe Nathan wasn't black, but I had no idea that Matt wasn't black.
And you learn fast. You learn very fast about Mr. Matthew. So, but yeah, when she first started talking to Nathan, I did think he was black. Now, does that change the story at all? No. And does it make anything negative for me? No. So, I mean, it really don't matter. I was just, oh, okay. This is not the first time this has happened to me. So, I'm like, okay.
Wait, what happened?
Being race fished. But overall, I do think I really liked Nathan's character. Although I have some things about Nathan too, because Nathan, I think, I feel like they made him a little act a little younger than he is, like a little more childish than I would expect a 26-year-old man to act. But then again, but he seemed like he had really good intentions. He seemed like a sweet person, a caring person, a loving person. I do think they put 20 on 10 about his anger issues, because it wasn't giving that to me. It just giving all of y'all just mad that he's mad because y'all are bad. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, y'all trying to put it on him. I did not like that, and we'll probably get to that later when we get to the discussion questions. But I feel like they did try to make him the villain, and I was a little confused as to why, because he was not giving villain. But when it came to him and Rachel, I thought they were a good match. I don't know if I would say they were soulmates or anything like that. But then again, I don't know. I thought they were a good match. I thought they were okay. I don't really, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, their age difference, but I'll just say the age difference, like I said, took me back because I thought she was a little younger than what she was. So, I mean, she wasn't 46. But
now you thought she was younger. You thought she was old.
you're knocking on 50. Anyways, and so he was just, I don't know. He was cool. Obviously very insecure about his art, about himself, about his place in his family, and which was all warranted in my opinion based off of what he was going through. I don't think he was mean enough, and I don't know, I liked him. I will say though, when I saw the picture of him and I learned that his last name was Vasquez, now I'm gonna tell y'all who I was imagining when I was reading this. Now, granted, I don't know if this man is Hispanic. He probably is not.
Okay.
Rome Flynn. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Well, first I was thinking, that he was black. So Rome Flynn. Because of the way that they described him. But then I was like, Rome Flynn kind of give ambiguous. I'm gonna keep it there, and I kept it there for the rest. And if they did a movie, I think Rome Flynn would be a good pick.
Yeah, we could make it work.
Is Rome Flynn Hispanic? Let's see. How y'all felt about him? And I'm gonna let y'all know when I find out.
Also, like Nathan, I do think that they were a cool, decent match. They liked each other. They cared about each other. It was cute the way that they would, well, the way that Nathan would like, you know, make sure that he answered the phone and was very concerned with her communication with him and wanting it to be consistent and like just his, immediately wanting to for her.
Yeah,
That was nice.
I agree.
I feel like that probably stems from the fact that he didn't really feel cared for.
Yep.
So I feel like he was kind of anxious about showing his care for other people because he knows how it feels to feel that same care. Um, also agree with the fact that they kind of blame Nathan for more than what he should have been blamed for, him being a child and
Right.
leaving once he was able to because of his treatment. And I feel like they guilted him into doing what they wanted.
Yep.
I think that was kind of crazy.
I do too. The
The
fact that
brother,
it ended like that, like it was just,
yeah,
and now he's gonna do what we want him to.
Yeah.
right. Like he ended up bending. So was it a happy ending for him outside of his like personal romantic life? I don't know. The brother, I understood the brother wanting, the split life that the brother had between his parents, the brother being the bridge between the two, wanting to keep the peace on both sides. But he was also drowning. He
Oh,
he
baby.
kind of pushed that off on his brother because he felt like he was the only one keeping up with the desires of his parents, and his brother got off the hook, left him
Yeah.
alone.
Yep.
So I feel like Nathan had a lot of pressures on him,
Yeah.
things that he didn't necessarily deserve. I mean, so did his brother, but the brother kind of, he didn't leave. He kind of formed.
Yeah.
Um, that was crazy. Uh, I do like that he and Rachel had that connection with the arts, and I'm always like a love interest gonna do whatever it takes, or feel like they should do whatever it takes to protect the person that they
Period.
like. How he like always quipped off at Matthew, like what it was twice, 3 times. Whenever
Heck
he was like, "Now watch
yeah.
your mouth,
I'm like,
now
and
watch
then
your
he's sitting there
mouth."
looking like a fool.
That's a
Yeah.
lady.
What did the brother call him? A potato?
I
They said he looked like a potato. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So
Yes.
when it comes to being reckless, I have to say that I did give Nathan that pass
Period.
because was
He
that
was big and
reckless?
fine.
I mean, he can get off with being macho. 'Cause I feel like the dad had a macho persona, so he can get off of being like, the young
Hot, sexy.
masculine son who like, who does what he wants and like has this bad
Drives
boy
a
persona where
fast
it's like,
car
oh,
and
he
has
never
tattoos.
has tattoos and never comes to the functions. He does what he wants. The family just kind of let him do whatever. He comes up and he gonna go off at the mouth because who gonna check him about it? It's the young reckless kid. He can get away with this, so I didn't
Yeah.
really feel too bad about it. But I do like that, and he was willing to do it to anybody.
Sure was. I love it.
I like,
Loved it. Loved him.
but yeah, I do also think that he read a little younger, but not too much younger.
No, not too much younger,
Because
but
26, yeah, he read younger than I thought. But I mean,
yeah,
he is kind of stuck. He's stuck as a child
he's a
because
little
he's still dealing
stunted.
with,
Child
yeah.
trauma. Yeah.
Overall, I like Nathan.
Me too. What you thinking?
I do overall like Nathan. Um, I think his story overall just made me very sad. Rachel did too, but his made me sadder because he's still in the thick of the familial trauma.
Right.
Um, and I do think that certain things, certain actions that he made, or like certain dialogue, just I don't know if it read younger to me, but it did read. Um, it just read that he was just so internally scared and insecure. Um, and that didn't make me think of him as like, that didn't make me dislike him. It just made me like just sad to read it, because it's like, still you got out the house at 18 and still at 26. Um, it still has this effect on you, and again, because he's still in the thick of it, that his family's still actively like um insulting him, actively harassing him, actively shaming him for anything that he does or brings up about his own personal life. Um, he doesn't feel like he can talk to his friends about things. And it's like, with his friends, it's like it's not that he's in the clear all the way with like communication with his friends. It's, back and forth, but it just seems like his friends aren't like friends close enough for him to be able to like share things, even though they've been friends for years and years.
I don't
And
think it's
so he
that's
just,
their fault though. I think that's
huh?
Nathan's fault.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
Like I didn't
he's,
feel like they were bad friends. I just feel like Nathan just kind of internalizes his emotions
yeah,
and
that's
doesn't
true.
really express them
Yeah.
unless he has to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
being bottled up and being the youngest and feeling like you can't.
Right, but I'm
So
saying like it's the with the friends specifically. Like I don't want to put it on the friends. Well, maybe not the girl. The boy seemed like he would have been listening. I mean, either one of them at different times feel like they
yeah,
would
yeah.
listen,
I
but
don't think they were bad friends. I did like um Bobby kind of rubbed me the wrong way in certain aspects, but I don't think she was a bad friend overall. Like, um, I think I think everyone in his life except for Dylan are just very pushy in all aspects, and sometimes that push is good, but none of it is affecting Nathan in a good way, because he's not ready to be pushed at all, because he's still he's still not over like thinking of himself as everything that his parents are currently telling him he is, which is really nothing good. Um, but yeah, overall, I liked Nathan. Um, Again, same with Rachel. I think there were some decisions that like I didn't really like. I guess get well. I feel like I guess I understood his decisions more than I understood Rachel's. But I guess he kind of, it was kind of funny sometimes when he acted confused as to what the nature of this relationship was going to get him in the long run. It's like, yeah, you got the girl at the end, but at the same time, it's just like there has to be. I think for both of them, there was a level of just, I guess, recklessness, but also like, what did we really think was going to happen?
yeah.
And also like him keeping his family. Like, you knew who she was and you knew who your family is, and so you making the decision to like keep that information from Rachel, like it just snowballed y'all situation way more than it had to
That's
be.
the part
Like,
where I feel like he's being young minded. That's where I was
yeah,
talking about. Like I feel like
hmm
what did you think? Like
yeah, like what do we think was going to happen? What do we think was like going to come from this?
mhm.
Um, and also there were certain times that irritated me in like Nathan's reactions, and I get it again because he is younger and he's also kind of stuck in this like uh youngest sibling cycle when it comes to his parents. But it felt like whenever he was questioned, like, it, whenever him and Rachel were together alone, it felt like he was like the protector.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I understand this is not like something that I'm irritated with, like, Nathan as a whole on, but it felt like he was the protector with whenever him and Rachel were alone. But the minute someone, this is just the trauma, but the minute someone like questioned him to his face about it, it was so easy for him to like stumble on his words or like concede to someone else's.
He better use them fists.
His confidence in the situation slacked a lot to where it kind of like threw both him and Rachel under the bus.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of instances. But I love the art aspect. I love the fact that he was a what's the fan artist. I love that. The description of the book that he loved so much gave me very Percy Jackson vibes. You know, I'm a Percy Jackson girl.
Yeah.
And so I really resonated with that also as an artist. So I like the details of all of the art and how they connected through art. And I like the fact that they were both artists, but artists in different aspects, in different ways, and they still could connect on that level.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, let's move on to our favorite character. Y'all have a favorite character?
I can't think of who else is in the book. To be honest with you, I
didn't even know who was in the book. I still don't know what her cousin name is. Every time she came in,
Mia.
I thought she was somebody different.
Yeah, Mia. You know how many times I rewound something on account of knowing who Mia was, and still did not know who she was.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's funny.
I don't know.
I think I always knew who Mia was. Every time her auntie would come into the picture, I'd be like, "Who is talking right now?"
Yeah.
her too.
Who else her name?
Then all the
Keisha?
cousins.
I don't know
who are y'all?
Yeah.
Child, I put that book down for a week and I came back. And I said,
Am I meant to know everybody who's being named here?
Like,
I don't know, y'all.
literally.
Who's my favorite character? Is it Faith?
I don't think I actually
Literally,
have
I
a
can't think of
favorite
anybody
character.
else. I don't think so either.
Same. Not really.
Outside of the two main characters, I don't think I have a favorite character. So, well, that was quick. All right. Who was y'all's least favorite character? One, two, three.
Matt.
Oh. Yeah, that's
I don't even
right.
know if it's Matt. It's Matt, Beto.
It was gonna be Beto to me,
Daddy.
but I forgot about Matt. That's how non-existent he was. But you know what, Matt, yeah.
Matt was the ultimate.
I
But
also didn't like
Matt
Alicia.
was awful.
Who is Alicia?
What's her name?
Her auntie.
Oh.
Yeah, I said that just what her name was. Rachel. No. Keisha.
Who's Keisha?
Keisha.
You said Keisha?
I said Alicia.
No, not you. Z.
Oh. I said Alicia.
Oh. I think.
But I know I wasn't right.
It was Tanya. It was Tanya.
I think my least favorite character, you know what, it's probably tied between Beto and Matt, but I'm gonna have to give it to Matt just because I feel like Beto had a genuine motivation. He just was a terrible person or executed everything terribly. Whereas Matt, I feel like, was just purely selfish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Beto was purely selfish. He was selfish and self-centered. But again, his whole thing was for everybody in his family to be good. that does not excuse his behavior. So Beto's the worst character, only bested by Matt. But Matt it's just like there were no redeeming qualities. Zero,
Yeah.
none,
Like,
zilch for Matt.
I don't even know why I'm supposed to. Wow, I don't even know why I'm supposed to like sympathize with the fact that like their beginning of their relationship. Like, how do you
It
even?
didn't even do nothing for me.
What was supposed
Hey.
to? What did you like about him?
That's what I'm saying. You like that he had security. That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, I don't know. She said she loved him.
Yeah, she
And-
said they love each other so much that the world wouldn't love.
I just couldn't imagine a potato man whirlwinding me. I can't.
It's
Ever
hilarious.
since that man called him a potato, I just like. What I do like though, what I did like. Sorry, what I did like when it comes to the Matt hate train. That what was Nathan's brother name? Do y'all remember? Joe. What I did like was that Joe. What?
You think I'm
Is that
lying?
his name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his name was Joe.
I'm not 100%. I think I'm 95.
I think his name was Joe. Joseph.
Okay.
George. Okay. All right. I feel like I liked. Well, you know what? I'm gonna get on that later. I'm gonna get on it later. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna bring it back up when we get to another segment. I'm gonna bring it back up. But Matt, I just feel like he got a potato face. Ever since he called that man a potato, I just thought Matt was short with this like pudgy, like just frat boy face, and it just is like he's just like punchable, and like I just couldn't imagine because the way that it's like it's so crazy how people's different lenses see people because at the beginning of the book, Rachel's like he's objectively handsome, like everybody's going to think he's handsome, he's like the perfect guy, he got the perfect meat size, and you know, like everything was just that's what she said, her words, not mine. And how everybody likes him, he's charismatic. Huh?
She said verbatim.
I mean,
Verbatim.
basically, and like how
He
everything
did say
like
it.
it was just he's just a likable guy. He's charismatic. He rich, handsome. You know, everything. He had the whole package. But then when you start seeing him through Nathan and Joe's eyes, they're just like he's annoying, this annoying little boy who's like who just needs attention and is begging to be the most popular person. You could tell like people don't really like him, but they tolerate him because he's rich and he comes from this family and da da da. It's like wow, look how different they view him. She think he's the prize and they think she's the prize. Really. So it's like it's crazy how people view them differently, but once I started seeing him from their point of view, I was like, you know what? You ain't being reckless enough. You let that man play in your face. You got two fine men up here talking about how ugly and stupid and annoying he is. And he's just up in here like, hey, can we go golfing? You want to spend some time with me, please? And it's just like, bro, don't nobody like you.
Embarrassing.
It's literally embarrassing. So I did appreciate that. And I did not like him. And do y'all want to comment on Matt before I go on to Beto? Don't be long.
I just think he was ridiculous. I think the whole situation surrounding him was ridiculous. I think his existence is ridiculous. I think it's surprisingly he didn't get redacted. I just
redactinated.
That was funny.
I think it's so appalling and disgusting the way that he treated Rachel.
Yeah. And his weird family.
Yeah, his family is really weird.
I did not understand what was going on when they went to the dinner. I was just like, they could have kept this.
Like, I think it's hard to imagine. I get that, like, you know, everyone is not like a comic book villain. Like, I get that people have like emotions and things, but it's just hard to. There was nothing that was shown in this book that even like humanized him to a point of me like even trying to believe that he didn't have an agenda from day one um with marrying Rachel.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
And him actually like genuinely caring about like how Faith feels and all of this.
Yeah.
Like none of that. Like it never gave
I'm
that
not
he
buying
cared
it.
about any of that.
Right.
And again,
Yeah.
it's so crazy to me that people can't see through like people. This whole like putting Rachel on a racial pedestal for his campaign. That's so crazy that people can't see through that, but people in real life can't see through stuff like that every day.
That's true.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think that Matt was a master manipulator. Thinking I agree with how you feel. Like she was so caught up in it that his credibility from day one is definitely questioned. And that he acted so well by the time he was losing her and losing her kindness and losing whatever positive public opinion that he gained from having her in his corner. That's only when he started to be like, or that was his only motivation for keeping her around. And whenever she stopped caring about her part of the deal, he defaulted to, oh, we can make the marriage work. I didn't realize that you are feeling this way, when she so clearly stated how she felt. And she tried to make it work, and she gave him every opportunity to fight for or to appear to her how he did in the beginning, and he just was like, be I own you, don't you forgot?
Right.
Like,
Like,
out, we're married now. I don't have time for these types of appearances. Do what you're supposed to do in the public, and I'm
that's
going to
great.
make it your fault. I'm just going to gaslight you into thinking that it's your fault, and so that you're going to just continue to try and get my approval, try to get the attention that I gave you before, or yearn for that, the feeling that we had at the beginning of our relationship, and I'm gonna keep you in that cycle because I don't really like you that much. Or if I did like you before, I have all this access now.
Yep.
I can do whatever I want. I think he's nasty. I think he's disgusting. I don't think that he even cared about her enough in the beginning. He might have liked her in the beginning. I do think that he knew that he wanted to run as a Democrat, and having a black wife
Going to help.
was good optics for him. At least that's how
Yeah.
he felt, and it turned out to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that he's snaky. He's a snake. He's a snake in the grass. He's a snake on the front porch. He's a snake inside your house.
He's a potato in a snake farm.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. They
Common
found him in the
sense.
snake nest with the rest of his family. I just think that he was no good,
Yeah.
and
Down low, dirty, no
should
good.
have got a worse. Should have
Potato.
ended.
Scoundrel.
His demise should have been more flamboyant.
Yeah.
Should have had a more flamboyant demise.
Yeah.
I needed him. Yeah, redactination. What was that?
It wouldn't know.
Whatever y'all say.
Redactination.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Beto. Like I said, Beto is not nice. Beto is a mean man. Now I understand Beto got a lot on his plate. They built the city, whatever. And he's the head of the company. But I just feel like Beto, the Vasquez part of the storyline was just so complex. And it's just like, I ain't gonna say it wasn't needed, but it did add a whole lot. I do think it was a good part of the book. Don't get me wrong. Like, it added to it. We really didn't need to go to Matt People House. But the Vasquez's, I feel like Beto, and in conjunction with him, what's her name, Sophia?
Mm-hmm.
both of them, they are so lost up their own behinds that they cannot even fathom that they have done anything to affect their children negatively.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so wild for y'all to feel like Beto really, but I mean Sophia did it too, but him more so. For y'all to feel like nothing's ever good enough for you, so I'm just going to be like whatever to you. What do you mean? The boy is screaming. He's crying and screaming and throwing up for help. And he's like, for love more so. And he's just like, I don't even know what to do because y'all sent me away when I was young because I was mad that you were working my brother to death. You already was barely around. And now you want to blame me for him passing out because you're overworking him. And I'm mad about it. And so you send me away because I was concerned for him and maybe distracting him because I was concerned for his health. It's just like, where are you going? Do you love me? You want to be like, I've always loved you. You just never once open your eyes and realize it. Like, sir, you sent me away for loving.
You're grown.
It's not my responsibility as the adolescent to make sure everybody in the house feels loved.
Exactly.
It's your job. You had me. I didn't have you. I could have you, but I didn't have you. And so for you to be sitting up here like blaming me, it's insane. And Joe, poor Joe, I get his story. I understand, and I feel sorry for him too because
it's sad.
He's stuck. Like it is what it is. Like, what does he do at this point? It's too late for him to give up. He's too old. He was too much older than Nathan for them to band together, because he was already deep in it by the time Nathan cognizant of what's going on. So it's just kind of like he's stuck in a hard place, and Nathan was like, "Oh, bleep, no, I'm not about to be in this too. Y'all already don't even care for me. Y'all hurt my feelings at every chance you get. You minimize everything that I want to do. You don't show me that you love me, and you shun me when I'm upset about it. My grandma the only one who loved me, and y'all know this is how I feel, and y'all are, instead of being like, y'all have so many resources to understand what he's feeling, and y'all are so just like, well, it couldn't have been us to make you feel that way. He just off. I just and Beto coming in his house trying to give him a sob story like, oh I'm dying of brain cancer, and son, you need to make amends with me.
You just confused me, you just got away from me.
Excuse me.
I never understood
you. Lord,
it gave the speech that Matilda Mama gave her at the end of the movie, like, I never understood you, as you sign your rights away from your
I mean, you never really liked me.
God.
After a full movie of you berating her.
I'm smart, you're dumb.
I just never understood you.
I always wanted a daughter.
Good impression.
Like,
it just doesn't make no sense. He just how dare y'all at the end of the book try to make it Nathan's fault? And then I hate the way that the author wrote it, because Nathan started feeling like it was his fault too. And I wasn't there enough, and I didn't appreciate him. And he did love me because he sat down and drank hot chocolate with me.
Mm-hmm. That's the part of the book that I was like, I was zooming through it, and then I got to that part, and I was like, you know what? Let me get this a break, because this is kind of irritating me. This is really pissing me off. I hate that narrative, the concept of like, oh, because so and so's on like deathbed, that means that it's my job to reframe everything that they did into a more positive light. Mm-hmm. Or it's like, I'm not saying not like be retrospective, but
you feel this way for a reason.
That man literally at the beginning of the book told him he was a waste of life.
And now you up in my house mad at me because I'm not like, Daddy, I love you, and I just hope that we can get this together before you die. Boy, F you. Like, I am not a blood is thicker type of girl.
I'm not.
I couldn't care. I couldn't give two flying F's about blood, about all that, because at the end of the day, we are all people. We all put them pants on. And I'm just like, if you can't be a decent human being, you don't have to be around.
Like,
you don't have to be around. And y'all claim y'all want him around, but
y'all don't do nothing to have him around.
Y'all don't want him around. Y'all shun him. The boy tried to even go like prove to y'all like I can do something and go buy this laundromat that's not very profitable or whatever the case may be. And then you berate his you berate his art. You belittle his art. You belittle his art. You belittle his laundromat. You belittle anything that he has going on if it's not what you want him to do. And I just don't understand how you feel like downing everything that he does is going to be the ticket to him doing what you want him to do. But like, then in the end, the author wrote it that way.
That don't even make sense.
In what world am I going to be getting bashed for something and be like, you know what? You right. Let me do what you want me to do. Girl. Then Beto was a cheater.
Like, what's the right for you?
And then got mad when Nathan was like, you did my mama wrong too. On top of all of that, all the love that I feel like I didn't receive, and the belittling and the meanness and you just wasn't there like I needed you. On top of all of that, you also did my mama wrong. And I know it because I heard y'all arguing about it. She's crying because she loved you so much and you cheated on her. And you sit up here trying to give me, oh, your mother, those eyes, the eyes your mama got.
She left her man for you.
She left her man for you and you cheated on her. And then you like she didn't have nothing going for her. She was an actress. And then you want to be like, don't you ask me about my wrongdoing.
I have a few, Father. Is your continued wrongdoing. What else do I have?
What did you want to come here and talk about exactly? Like, you didn't want to amend. You wanted to forget.
His daddy said, how dare you be a conscious person living in my house?
How dare you question me about the consequences of my actions? How dare you try to give me consequences for my actions? Exactly. Like, we all saw it. I don't like the sweep it under the rug type of people. I'm not the type of girl. I never have been in friendships, in relationships, in sisterships. We've never been those type of people. So that bothers me. I don't like that. I cannot get over the issue if we don't address the issue. Mm-hmm. So everything that Beto did really rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't like the way that the author wrote it, because I feel like regardless of who dying and how they dying, if you are being a hateful, evil, nasty person and you're still not accepting that, and you know that you did it, but you just want me to get over it, you won't even give me the proper apology. I don't think he ever actually apologized for what he did. And what Nathan's saying he did, he just guilt tripped him and being like, it's all your fault because you just wouldn't open your eyes because I was there the whole time, son. We drank. We made homemade marshmallows.
Bro, we made marshmallows together.
You don't remember that?
and so Nathan's like, dang, he did make marshmallows.
And you know what? Look at this photo album. Here's a picture of him as a child. He's a real person too. Dang, I shouldn't have been so mean to my daddy. All right, Nathan. Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole book was building towards a resolution, and then at the end it was just like, get over it, Nathan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Like,
It's like, yeah, Nathan was put in that position through his family and honestly through his relationship with Rachel.
Why you
At
think that?
some certain points of it,
I said, why do you think that, Rachel?
as far as like get over it,
Oh yeah.
not that it was the resolution at the end, but he did have to go through. Even it was self-imposed, but he did have to go through a just have to you just have to deal with this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to deal with it. So even though he kind of put himself in that position with Rachel, and
Right.
Rachel put herself in that position with him, it's like there was never a time. Throughout the book, it wasn't. He didn't have a break from like having to rework his own reality with things or rework his own feelings with things. Like he was just kind of made to just deal with his situation
And nobody was
in
helping that man deal.
multiple relationships. Yeah. So that kind of sucked. Even though he had some control over, I mean, I know he was like totally in love. He don't have any control over his heart and
Right.
the desires of his heart. But as far as Beto is concerned, I agree with everything that you said. Whenever he came over to the house, like every time he opened his mouth, and I knew he was framing it in a way to try and get Nathan to like bow, get Nathan to concede, get
Yep.
Nathan to like feel guilty or like be the forgiver, be the responsible one, be the one that holds the accountability of everybody in the family. I know Joe wasn't his parents, but he wasn't perfect. Because he was so stuck, also perpetuated those same things. His mom also perpetuated the same things, but I know the person who had the most um like the driving force of the family and how they treated him was the dad.
Yeah.
And every time he had the opportunity, I could tell that the dad actually loved Nathan.
Right.
But his pride,
Yep.
his selfishness, his own ambitions, um, always came before him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Until the end. He couldn't
He couldn't
approach
even get to
his
the
son any
show.
other
He
way.
decided to die.
Yeah.
Just joking.
Go
He
up and do that.
I feel like he
Same.
made everything about himself. You made everything about himself. He couldn't
Yeah.
even. He
He
never
couldn't
showed it for
fathom.
him.
He was the main character, and he made sure everybody knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And even with like the way that he talked about his wife, made himself the star of the show.
Yep.
It was part of his story, but he impeded on her story,
Yep.
and he like he took over every space that he was in
Yeah.
unapologetically, of the victim of everything, made himself the star of everything. For him and his mom, and sometimes his brother, for them to make him feel like he was the one tearing the family apart when it was always the dad and his decisions causing health risks, causing depression and low self-worth and abandonment
Dysfunction.
issues
Yep.
and like just all of the dysfunction. His treatment of everybody, his dismissal of everybody, his propping up of himself, inability to see his family as individuals with their own lives and just cogs in his own machine to
Right.
help his own ambitions. It was very childish.
Yeah.
It was very self-serving. It was very self-destructive. To his dying breath, he took no accountability.
Yep.
It was a constant battle with who he think he should be the strength he should be showing, the resolve he feel like he should be showing. It feels like it's probably something that he learned. But a lot of men learn that macho, emotionally unavailable, self-serving, very prideful roles in their relationships, and they think that having this resolve is strength.
Yeah.
And they think that everybody should just understand what they did for the family, their sacrifices for the family, and they oppress everybody underneath them.
Yep.
Think that you should be grateful for it because I paid the bills, I put the roof over your head, I cultivated this whole life for you. You cultivated your life for you.
Right.
You want everybody to continue it instead of
Exactly.
having don't you can open it up for your family. You can open it up for it to be a family business. You can want it to be a family business all you want, but at the end of the day, every
That's not up to
individual.
you.
I have my own ambitions. If he was serious about his own ambitions, he would have made sure that he found a prodigy, especially after his sons felt like that's not my vision. When he saw that his oldest son was basically killing himself, putting his marriage at risk.
And lost it.
He was getting a divorce at the end. He saw his son's life crumble and did not care.
He saw his son
He
almost crumble. That man had a psychotic break. He was hearing and
yeah,
seeing things.
and he didn't care.
And then send his other son off for caring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should have. You can give your children. You can keep that wealth. You can keep that money in the family. There are plenty of people who would love to be in the CEO position, who would love to run a business like that, who would love to be a part of a business like that. If you cared about your own ambitions, you would have put yourself in that line and made sure your children were good to have
Exactly.
generational wealth or whatever the case may be, if
Exactly.
that was your point. Your point was
Yep.
control. Your point was for everybody to do with it, whatever it was that you wanted them to do. You were the puppet master
Yep.
and was mad when you had Pinocchio.
And
Like-
quiet as kept, the company could still be family owned and have another CEO. So
Exactly.
y'all just
Absolutely.
you can keep the company in the family still. Joe
The
was
CEO
competent.
and the owner are two different things.
Right.
Exactly. And
Joe
wait
was
for somebody else
competent
maybe down the
enough.
line who want to do it.
Right. Joe was competent enough to, I think, run the family affairs or keep it, afloat without having to be the day in, day out CEO. And I think
Absolutely.
if he truly cared about Nathan's affection towards him, he would have found a way to incorporate Nathan's own art or whatever he wanted to do within the company, like Joe was trying to do eventually. But he didn't care about how Nathan felt. He wanted Nathan to do what he wanted him to do. It was a happy medium that you could have found, because you already had Joe killing himself to be here. So you could have cultivated a situation to where Nathan would have had something to do in the company, but maybe not necessarily run the company. You don't need another person to run the company. So he could have did something with the company, but you pushed him away. So you got everything you deserved. And I wonder where Beto is today.
Please. No, he's probably in purgatory.
Yikes.
Endless punishment.
Yikes.
Okay. Oh no, she's looking up. Y'all ever seen that scene of Friends?
What?
When Phoebe was sad that her grandmama died? And it was like, oh, Phoebe, I'm sure she's looking down at you right now. And she's like, oh no, she's in hell for sure.
She definitely looking up at me right now. She's not.
That's what Beto is. Because it's like, this is your business. You can create positions.
Right.
You can do whatever it is that you want to do.
Come on now. Let's
just are hateful and selfish. and you were in this tug of war with your son, and you did not want to
Lose.
relent control to your son.
Yep.
You felt like y'all had to put it on the table, and you had to let him know that you was the biggest man.
Exactly.
That was the thing. He was so mad that Nathan had the audacity challenge him.
Yeah.
Nobody in this family is supposed to challenge me, especially not you.
Right.
My wife and my oldest son, you think they haven't done it and you can? Oh
How
yeah,
dare
I
you?
have to punch down on you every time you come here. Let you know
Every
who's
time.
boss.
Yep.
That's what it became for him.
Right.
That's what it stayed for him because and that's what it was for everybody else. Y'all Nathan, I don't understand why you just don't do what he says. When are you gonna get a relationship with dad?
Oh, it's the child's place to.
It's like they was really like
Are you gonna
it was really brainwashed. You really, first of all, you really took all the words out of my mouth. Seeing, everybody was brainwashed. That family's a cult.
mm-hmm.
They
that
it's really sad. It's the fact that they see what's happening, especially Joe, because again, he is also not out of it, and so he's like in so even more in the thick of it than Nathan is, and so he understands what this is doing to him. He sees his life crumbling continuously. Joe's story was just sadder than Nathan's.
and
Like, and the fact that they brought in Mia as his like past love,
So that was the same girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Just like they added that just because she didn't even have to.
Exactly. There was no reason.
Yeah, she didn't have to
because they ain't rekindle or nothing.
With that at the end,
right?
It was just the fact that not only did I have a mental break, a psychotic break, and now everybody keep asking me, "About you okay? You seeing things again?"
Right.
My wife leaving me. She taking my son, and now I have my first love walk around here that got ruined because of that. The whole thing got ruined because of Beto.
And my little brother is able to live happily with her cousin.
Oh my! Like
y'all need to go do a wellness check on Joe.
Real life.
Seriously.
Like
yeah.
they
life.
They
like
got
they didn't even have to write him that bad. They didn't have to write him that tragic. They didn't. It was just unnecessarily tragic, and he's also looked over greatly. So I hate it for the Vasquez boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That man is terrible. And also with the two memories that they kept coming back to about Beto, that was like, oh my gosh, he was like human, was again him making marshmallows and him being like
for himself.
He's like,
oh, Lord.
like leaning around the corner.
Wow, look at him. He really liked marshmallows. That's so sweet that he make them himself.
And him being like a little boy and like laying on his dad's chest, which was like a nice scene. But that was probably the last of, again, you keep replaying these things. That's the last
like,
affectionate.
You was 4.
Like, that's the last affectionate thing that he did.
A baby.
He
yeah.
didn't do it.
You're 26.
That was just you listening to his heartbeat. He didn't even do that.
He sure didn't.
Right.
He sure did.
He was the same evil with the heartbeat.
Exactly.
Evil heartbeat.
But he just
sinister heartbeat.
But he just saw his child still young enough for the childish pleasures of being physically close with your father.
Yep.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
I keep having a white mind.
Yep.
Okay, so let's move on to our favorite scene. I have a couple that I will touch on. First, I thought the whole sequence of them, Nathan and Rachel going to the museum all the way up until Joe caught them in the lake house. I thought that was so cute. I ate that up. I thought that was so freaking cute. I loved that. Him painting her while she was like not paying attention, or sketching her while she wasn't paying attention in there in the lake house or whatever. Him carrying her through the woods. I love a man to carry you, you know. I'm pretty thick myself, and so when a man can carry me, I'd be like, ah. Anyways, and let me think. I think my other favorite scene is when when Matt's mistress was revealed.
Girl.
That was. I thought I got transported into a sitcom.
No, because first of all, as soon as the girl was like, he's cheating on you. I said, oh, it's you. It's you. She said, he's cheating on you.
Real quick. Why? Because I remember I was in Walmart whenever I was listening to this part. And I remember being in Walmart and looking around and being so confused. Because I could have sworn we already knew it was Haley.
I don't think I knew that.
Because I just thought, I felt like something was said and I thought that
it was like implied or something.
Haley.
I don't remember catching that earlier.
Yeah, I did. They might have said something implied it, but I didn't catch it personally.
Because whenever it was talking about, she's talking to Haley, I said, ain't that the assistant? Ain't that who
That's crazy.
Already.
And so, like, literally, because I stopped in the middle, and it was two people who was in there, and I was like, is it the girl? So I'm like, when she was like, he's cheating on you, didn't she know? Ain't she the girl?
That's crazy.
Then, like, I was standing still, like,
you good, Z?
I didn't catch it till then.
Yeah. Like, didn't we already know?
I don't remember.
I was so confused. That's something I wanted to ask y'all.
I don't remember them saying anything about it being Haley. All I remember them saying that it was a woman and he had been seeing her for a few months and he was in love with her, and that they started during his little tour. His campaign tour. That's all the really details they really gave. But I did wonder who it could have been, but it also really didn't matter to me who it was.
Yeah.
But when
I completely erased it from my brain. I didn't try to think about who it was.
I didn't either. I was like, Anyways, back to Rachel and Nathan.
Literally. There's your saying, Z?
Oh, y'all keep going.
But I do feel like when she was like it was like she was like, oh, he's cheating on you, and she was like, yes, Matt is having an affair, da 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 da, and she was like, did he tell you who it was? I said, girl, put your dukes up, because I know it's you. I know, and Rachel should have known it was you when she said, do you know who it was?
She said that. She had turned to Tasiki right there on the spot.
Literally. Take these shoes off.
Take these shoes off me, yo. Can't nobody with me.
Because you really got me messed up. You got me messed up. How dare, and then so for her to come to the thing. My thing is this. You claim you got so much respect for me and you feel so hurt because I don't know why you feel so hurt. You knew he was married.
Yeah, that was really confusing.
No, she didn't feel so hurt. She was trying to
save face.
She was overcompensating because she knew she was the girl.
Right, but I'm like, Rachel ain't know.
I can't believe.
I'm talking about when she revealed it. I'm talking about when she actually revealed the painting or whatever. Like, why would you expose Rachel and not Matt if you're mad at Matt? Because she was mad. She was mad because Rachel was saying that she was staying with Matt longer. I think that's why she was mad.
Oh, that's why she was mad?
I think so. It was like, she was like, are you going to leave him? And then she was like, I can't, or something like that. she can't right now. I think she said something like that. And so I think that's why the girl got mad. But she goes on a rant, like going off on Matt, like, oh, everybody loves Matt, everybody this and that, but Rachel's really, you know, respectful, and she works hard, and she's like crying and clearly drunk and all this type of stuff, and then you expose Rachel.
Yeah, that was just it was just weird.
I just don't get that. And then, first of all, Rachel should have sued her.
Period.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't a part of the commission pieces, and the artist is here and he can attest to that. Yeah, he could say he accidentally sent it. And then Rachel can attest to the fact that she said, do not put that out. And the fact that you are my husband's mistress, I'm sure that I can win that case.
Yeah, because you just said malicious. It. Like, you just said it.
Exactly.
Like,
so, first of all, I would have sued her.
You revealed it.
You are the one who revealed it. So, I mean, I don't know. But I really like that scene because I thought it was funny because Matt saw his life drop in front of him. And I love that. I really was waiting for them to get exposed so he wouldn't be able to win any more elections. That's what I wanted. So, that's why y'all was like, oh, I wish it would be more like the stakes are high. I'm like, I want her to be more reckless. I wanted her to, I don't know, go to the fair and get stuck at the top of the Ferris wheel like Issa and Nathan.
I'm saying not Issa.
Like, I wanted it to be reckless. I want them to start a vlog channel on that. Like, I wanted it to be doubly exposed. Huh?
It's like, what's up, gang?
Literally, like, come on. I just wanted it to be bad, but I like those two scenes. But I mean, obviously, I like that one, the exposed one, because it was like Matt. It was revenge for Matt, but I really liked the lake house because I thought it was really sweet. Them having their own like little corner for a while. So, yep.
I would say it's hard because a lot of the book I do, like a lot of the details from the book as far as scenes, I don't remember. But don't really remember the museum scene like that. I do remember them having coming from the museum and having the blown out tire, and the blowout, and how she was feeling, you know, triggered being in the car. He had to bring her to the lake house, which I thought she was gonna say she felt triggered because she had to live in her car before, and whatever.
Wasn't that the reason?
But anyways, she said it had something to do with, I can't remember what she specifically said, but I remember feeling like, oh, I thought it was going to be
the car.
But anyways,
I wish I could figure out which part it was.
I thought she said that she would. I thought it was about the car. Whatever. It really don't matter.
I mean, it could have been about the car, but it might have been something like about the car that I thought it was. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The lake house scene was nice. Part that I liked, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but just a little bitty scene whenever he ran out his friend's house to come. I know I said it earlier, but him, like, his desire to just keep their relationship like private and special, like him running out the house down the apartment saying, I'm about to go get pizza, whatever, like, what y'all want? I'm bringing some food back, and him not even caring about the food, him, you know, going downstairs inside, what was it, inside the laundromat? I don't remember whose apartment he was in, but him going downstairs and just was like on the phone, like, yeah,
hey, babe.
So why you called? Like, I just wanted to make sure everything's okay. Like, that part I thought was
I love a man
cute.
who loved the cake. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was so cute because it's like he didn't even have to say. He could have just stepped out. I don't know. I just don't feel like he just wanted any reason. Like, it's gonna be a while, y'all. I gotta step out. You know, y'all need something, and not even care.
Right.
to go get whatever it is that he asked him about, and just to,
It was so puppy love of
himself the
him.
opportunity to walk out. Yeah, I really did like that. As far as the scene that we were all waiting for when things hit the fan, I don't know why I felt like we already knew it was Haley, but that scene I thought was so Dr. Doofenshmirtz
It was
from
goofy,
Haley, like Dr. Draken, because
very
it was the
dragon coded.
goofiest
Senor,
like
senor, senor.
display display of "I got you, sucker." Like,
Yeah,
it was it was so goofy because it was misplaced. I think that she actually did like Rachel, but I feel a lot of it was supposed to be sarcastic and
yeah, I get that.
um like I think she had a love-hate relationship for Rachel.
She
Maybe
was
she felt
jealous of
jealous.
Rachel. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I think that she did like her and kind of wanted to be her. And just the fact that she probably blamed Rachel for prolonging what she felt like should
She
have been her
deserved.
chance, and then realizing that she is staying because Matt wants her to stay, and her like having that opportunity to flip it onto Matt as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me you're going to leave her, but come to find out, the only reason why she's still there is because you
You're
are kind of
forcing
holding
her.
her
Yeah.
hostage. So all the things you're telling me, you're lying. But he's been lying.
Because
So
he was
you thought that
cheating.
you was going to be the
Yeah.
one. You thought
At
that,
lying.
you're more his match. You are the one who you should have the man, you're his true love. You are the exception. You thought that, okay. I hate it for Rachel. She's a sweet girl, but I'm his true love. I'm who he wants. And so I think she had a crack
Yeah, she
when
definitely
he
did.
realized that when she realized that not only is he lying to Rachel, he's also lying to me, and
Pygmisha.
he's being deceitful to both of us. And her reality was, crack.
Crumbled. Yeah.
Now, she still is jealous of Rachel, and I think her point was to kind of ruin Rachel or ruin their relationship in the public. So she exposed Rachel, just so that they could not come back from that. But yeah, it should have been like a brawl or like a mass jumping. Somebody who was in there with Rachel should have dragged
Literally.
Mass jumping.
Haley.
What?
The mass jumping is insane.
Everybody get her. There she
To a
is.
pulp in front of all the cameras live on national television. She should have got drugged
Yeah.
And when I
because
beat on that,
that
I'm
is
gonna stomp on
so
that.
When I
evil.
stomp it.
It
And we
wasn't enough that you were
what did
already
she say?
having an affair with
And
my
we gonna beat that
husband.
up. We gonna beat that.
We're gonna beat up.
We gon' beat that hoe ass. We gon' beat that hoe ass. We gon' beat that hoe ass.
Not only enough that you have an affair with my husband, you have to expose my naked body as well.
That's
Girl,
insane.
you're going to
Serious?
prison. You're going to prison. They should have had a shootout.
And guess what? We're
I'm
gonna
just
be in there
joking.
You're going
together.
away for a long time.
Yeah, we would have both been in prison,
What do you say?
jail, same cell.
What the man? What they be quoting him on SVU? You sick F. Lord.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, no, they definitely should have jumped her. Rachel, that's the problem. Rachel ain't got no friends because she had some friends.
It was isolated.
Yeah.
She was exactly Matthew William.
Yeah, we ain't forget about you, Matthew. We're still on you, Matthew.
Meth William is.
We should let Nathan really get at you.
What you said?
I said Meth William is something.
Mathilium. Yeah, what was your favorite scene?
My first scene was the same as yours, Nee. It was the whole cabin, the art museum to the cabin. Because again, I just love them talking about the art and like just the concepts of like the purpose of art. And even if you don't agree with it or if you think it's silly or stuff like that, which a lot of art I do think is silly, but I like the concept or idea of like art comes from so many things and art can be so many things, and I like how she was explaining it to him. And I thought it was very nice. And then I do love a man to the rescue. Yes, carry me through the woods. Yeah. Yes, I do love that.
I got baby doll shoes on, babe. Pick me up.
It did irritate me because I just anticipated, because they were so hot and cold. But like, oh, I can't do this. We can't do this no more. Oh, I'm all in. No, I can't do this no more. So I was already irritated, kind of like anticipating that something was going to happen in the morning, to where there was like,
yeah, it was too perfect.
Yeah, but it was nice. I did find the reasoning as to why she was triggered.
Why?
Which was she kind of like went into this whole monologue. Not that person wasn't. I was like, okay, girl, let's get to the point. She was like, she was like, oh, why am I triggered by lightning and rain in the car? My mama left me when.
Exactly.
But essentially, it did come back around to her and Faith were sleeping in cars.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the monologue just
it pages.
Yeah, maybe I had blacked out by the time she got to that part.
Yeah, I knew it was about her being homeless.
It was a long explanation. She started telling the story how her daddy got sick and blah blah blah. Again, it's relevant, but
it ain't take all that.
Yeah. My mama sold me for $2 in a fix.
My mother was a real whore.
My mother was a real whore and a junkie, and she traded me for $10 and a fix.
That's not funny. That's actually really sad.
It's really sad.
But anyway.
I don't want laughing.
Huh? That's from Family Reunion.
I said y'all the one laughing.
Oh, I wasn't laughing.
Oh.
I either.
Ain't funny. I wasn't laughing.
Oh, okay. Roll the clip.
Roll clip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Rachel breaking up with him. I think that's a default. Being like, when Joe found them, it ruined the favorite scene.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, no, he's right.
He's right.
I need to leave. I shouldn't even be here.
Like, first of all, this is your second time doing this.
Yeah.
This is your second time being like, I'm all in. Girl, at this point,
make a choice. Just do it. You did it. You did it.
Like,
she was making a choice. Every time she had a choice, she was making it.
And she kept flipping on it. Least favorite scene.
Yeah.
Joe, do you know the effect of 3 vasectomies have on a man, or whatever he said? Joe ruining my favorite scene and coming up in there like you knew that was back there. I don't know why you even need to come back here, but whatever. Like, he not grown.
Why do you care that much?
Like, literally, like, go get you some bees.
Personal life was
go save your marriage.
Personal life was in flames.
Get your son back.
Go get your son back.
Like,
You up in here
He
focus
knew he
on me.
couldn't.
You found time. That's the thing. Joe found time to play with Nathan at the gym every Tuesday, Thursday, or 3 times a week or whatever, and to interrupt Nathan's sneaky link. But you ain't had time to go see your wife and your son. You made the priority where you wanted to at this point, because you're in your 40s too, or you're 40 years old, or whatever old you are, upper 30s, almost 40, whatever, however he is. So I mean, we know we ain't gonna give Joe too much because his life is tragic, but it's just like you come over here to mess my good thing up. I'm not gonna be miserable with you, babe.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm so sorry.
Not. And listen. I'll be like, look. Beethoven was about to die. You can do what you want, Joe.
You ain't gotta live like this no more.
You don't have to live like this. He almost there. He halfway through the 6 toes in the grave. So
6,
probably 8 at that point.
At
But
least.
that's I didn't like that, but I mean that was inevitable. That was going to happen. And again, I didn't like the family scene with Matt. I think he's weird. I really just didn't like any scene with Matt. Yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry, least favorite characters as well. The maid, who's always giving her hell. F her.
Yeah.
I would have fired her.
Like she wanted to marry
literally.
I'm like, go get him if you can.
His mom, right?
I would have like, catch him if you can. Yeah.
So whatever his daddy name was.
Herschel. I don't know.
And you couldn't marry Herschel. She wanted to marry Matt.
Girl, the potato, the literally Mr. Potato Head and the Spud family. I don't know what you think you're getting here. You live here. You see how bad it is, how stupid it is. I would have fired her. Me, I ain't nobody. See, that's my thing with the books that I'll be reading, or whatever. When they always have like a head maid who's being mean or whatever, even in like Bridgerton or whatever. Play with me if you want to. I am the matriarch here, okay?
It ain't gonna be that nice.
I don't care how long you've been working for the family. I don't care. I promise you, I don't care. You got 2 chances. The first chance you ever me, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm like, look, I understand you don't know me, I don't know you. Do it again and you're out of here. The second time you do it, you're out of here. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all feel too comfortable to be disrespecting people y'all don't know who ain't do you nothing. It'd been different if she came in there being rude and mean. No, you came in here being rude and mean. Get out. How about that?
You're hateful.
Yeah.
Just hateful.
Yeah, send her right back up to the parents' house, to his pappy house.
Literally. Go where you want
on the street.
Exactly. Go where you want it. Oh, did they not want you? Is that why you're here? Oh.
Fool me once.
Shame on you.
Shame
on you. You fooled me, can't get fooled again.
What's your least favorite scene?
Least favorite scene, anything with Matt in it. That first scene with him coming into the kitchen and him playing those mind games. Yep. Being in the upstairs after the entire...
I know my least favorite scene is.
He realized that something was wrong and y'all continue playing his mind games. His family, where everybody seems like they're all part of the Volturi, like they all were stoic and calculated, selfish and nasty, and like just awful people. Everything is a means to an end. Nothing seems genuine. The only thing they tried to make genuine was his dad's care for Faith.
Right. Yeah. Which why? Okay. Why? It didn't make sense.
I still don't believe it.
He didn't even like Matt.
I guess I believe it to like a certain like surface level, but it's still like
the whole family. This little black girl. The whole family felt like this unyielding like devotion to Faith.
And it's because she's the only grandchild.
Right. And she's not even y'all grandchild.
Also giving a weak attempt to make that character sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, he's this awful person who leveraged this child's trust fund for you to stay a prisoner inside this home.
Literally.
Oops. I bet you didn't realize he actually does love that girl, and whether or not you were here or not, he been made that trust fund and it wasn't going nowhere. I mean, I just feel
He
like
still
that
tries
was
to
kind of
trap
weak.
me into marital slavery.
He
Yeah, I
said,
just
look at
feel
all
like
these
it's
zeros.
kind of like, oh, I feel like that alone did not make his character complex enough for
No.
me
Yeah.
to feel
Yeah.
sympathetic toward him at all. Just like the small care that Beto had for Nathan and his family that you know that he has was hardly enough for me to look at his character as complex as I feel like he had the potential to be.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
But anyway, any scene with that maid, any scene with Matt, the whole scene where she crashed out outside because she saw um Matt inside doing whatever he wanted, and just I didn't like that scene only because no, it was just like a slap in her face again. Was she well within her right or well within her feelings to destroy his property and like cause a scene? Yeah, she needs to get it out somewhere. And yeah, you need to be inconvenienced. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You need to have some form of consequence, but I just hate that. I didn't like that scene strictly for her, like
Yeah.
that character
Yeah.
in it, like her being made to be there for
Right.
stability. She's going along with the plans for him to just be like F you in your face again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I could do whatever I want.
Yep.
And what you gonna do? You need the money.
Yep.
So it's gonna be whatever it is.
Yep.
So I didn't like that
Mm-hmm.
part either.
But also added to favorite parts of the book because when Nathan came in there looking fine, and that's when she found out that he was actually a Vasquez, and him and Joe was tag teaming Matt, disrespecting
Yeah,
him.
I did
Yeah.
appreciate
I love
that.
that. And Joe just got on board because he don't like the man. He don't even know the ties. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like beautiful. I
Yeah, he don't
love
even know
that
what's going
part.
on.
Y'all the tallest in the
Didn't even
room, y'all
know.
the finest in the room, and y'all making this man who's been giving her hell feel small.
Mm-hmm.
So love
Hmm.
that.
That I also like that scene too.
Yeah. My least favorite scene was the therapy session scene that he
That's one of mine
um
too.
what's the term? I was trying to figure out the word I'm looking for, but I guess like the whole session that he sprung on her out of nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
trying to be sympathetic and trying to like get sympathy from her,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it was just very disgusting and very well. What about our marriage? And do you really mean that? Like,
Have you
I
never
just,
loved me at all?
you know, now I want to explain myself after I cheated multiple times. Then you found out. Then I tried to gaslight you. Then I tried to trap you in this marriage and succeeded in trapping you a little bit longer for a little while, holding money over your head because I can't just give it to you outright because that's not the type of person I am. Why would I just give money to the person who's been curating my entire life for the last 15 years and
Mhm.
was supposedly in love with me? And we're supposed to love each other. Why would I just give you money to survive? I don't know why I would do that. Um, but after all that, oh, also after we made this deal, then I proceeded to try to my hardest to embarrass you again by sleeping with people at events that we both came to together.
It's part of the deal.
Ain't
Yeah.
Not
people.
to
It was just
mention the
one
fact
person,
that
wasn't it?
she,
Hmm.
It was just one person, wasn't it?
I think so. I
Okay.
don't know.
yeah, Just to be so bold as to, after we even make this agreement, for you to, like, the same night, the very first event that we do together, here you are at it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Gallivanting
Not to
around
mention
at
the
the
fact,
event.
not to mention, never go back to the therapy sessions. The fact that he had stopped showing up to him,
Yeah,
exactly.
just stopped going.
because he didn't want to
Stopped
deal with
taking,
it.
like, he didn't want to deal with it. Because he had the therapist underneath his thumb, knew that he had control over her, and as long as she didn't see it, or as long as she couldn't, like, physically prove it, she was going to go along with it. It was easy to ignore. She knew that he had something going on
Hmm.
because he wasn't with her. Maybe I don't remember if she knew or suspected him cheating before she had the proof of it, but
I don't think she really said
he
until she
took
saw
full
them.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knew that he had pulled away from her in every way that mattered,
Yeah.
that allowed her to fall in love with him in the beginning.
Hmm.
But just the fact that he's like, yeah, we're going to get this, we're going to work this out.
We're gonna work
Really?
who
For the
out?
first time?
Because your daddy
Because
told you you had
I'm
to.
already letting Nate make the work meet. Let me stop.
Because he worked me out.
It's like, first of all, you bombarding someone like with a surprise therapy session. That's not how that works anyway.
So yeah, come sit down. Yeah.
That's not how that works anyway.
Come
Second of all,
sit next
That's
to
why he
daddy.
didn't go. Why didn't go
like,
as planned?
like not only have you done me dirty so many times, harassed me about this fake relationship, this these crumbs of a relationship that we have. Not even romantic, just platonic. It's crumbs.
Yeah.
And then to force a therapy session on me, and then have me sit down and listen to you explain your feelings.
When you haven't
Listen
even
to
tried to
you.
listen to me.
Listen to you be like, well, I just want to let you know why I felt the way I felt, and like what brought on the cheating in the first place, because I loved you so much, and
I feel like you didn't love me anymore.
I'm gonna get the gat.
I already
How
got
about
the
that?
gat.
And I
I
mean,
already got the gat.
behind the pillow.
How about that? You know what? I'm about to go to my car, open my trunk. I got something.
I got something for y'all.
Sit right
Tosh
there.
gonna get her a gun.
Like, that is so insane. Like not only have you done this woman wrong in so many ways, you are sitting here like forcing her to hear your emotions and your gripes with how she made you feel, when you are the one who actively broke your vows and broke the other deal that y'all made after you broke your vows.
Not to mention broke her down, took everything
Exactly.
from her, isolated her. She has no one besides you and your family.
Exactly.
And her daughter, who you have kind of like persuaded to like you at this point, which is not, I mean, not a bad thing since they were married, but at the same time it's like made it more difficult for her to have someone who is solely on her side. You've taken everything from her hobbies, her likes, her dislikes, her career, what she could have had, everything from her. You taken everything from her, and then now you're like, and then you cheated on her, and then you're like, well, you just didn't make me feel loved anymore.
And like, you have the nerve to act confused. Like, she has done everything for you for the past 15 years.
And kept sacrificing. Every time she wanted to do something, you'd be like, you don't need to do that. Anything
and she's still
wanted.
sacrificing in this moment.
In this moment.
She got to need down
even participating in this
outside
therapy session.
Exactly.
Her to even be like, sit down and do the therapy session with you.
Which is crazy to me.
I walk right past them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some people got it so easy. Some men have it so easy because, let me tell you something. If they had a Nene on their side, Nene would be no more.
Crazy.
Nene wouldn't be here. They would have been taught Nene a lesson because y'all, I mean, come on. My
That don't
God.
make no sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
that I like again. It was such a struggle to get to that part because I just kept being looking at the book like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. I almost drove off the road. I was listening to it while I was
You was
driving.
reading it. You was reading
I was
the road.
I was listening to it while I was driving. I said, "Sit down and you don't love me what?"
No.
Just
Nothing to
joking, just
stop you
joking.
from
Knock on
listening to
wood.
audiobooks.
Huh?
To stop you from listening to audiobooks.
I be up in there screaming. I be
No
frozen for 3
emotional
minutes like
You gotta
this.
responses on
sit
the
down.
road.
You gotta sit down and focus on the words, baby.
I be like this. I'll be cleaning or whatever, and I'll be mopping, and I'll be like, and you just don't love me no more.
No, literally.
3 minutes
That's how it
straight.
was in Walmart. Talking out loud.
Back.
I was like, no,
Go back
wait a
15
minute.
seconds. That couldn't be right. Go back again.
I swear to you, I was on my phone like this.
Literally.
Oh, what? I literally talking out loud. My
Okay.
headphones in. Appalled. Confused.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. All that to say, we enjoyed the book, I guess. I mean, I enjoyed the book. It sounded like y'all enjoyed the book. It was entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I'm not mad that I read it. It was frustrating. It was just very I probably wouldn't read it again. Only because I feel like a lot of the stuff in the beginning kind of like fell flat for me at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like all the frustration that I was put through wasn't like
Worth the payout.
worth it at the end.
And yeah, and her auntie wanting her mama. What was the point? What was the, like you said at the beginning?
That was confusing to me.
Just keep adding on more and more mess for what's the payout for it. She could have fell out with them for any reason.
Okay.
Completely forgot that her auntie wanted her mama. That's insane.
It's just like
because also for the whole book, I assumed that was her mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think that.
Or
I don't think I even registered who side it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, black cousins, all right.
Blood related.
I just guess because she wasn't talking to them, I just assumed that it was her mom's side because her mom abandoned her.
Yeah.
But
plot twist, it was her mama's side of the family.
Disgusting.
What, the flowers in the attic?
What the hell?
It didn't have to be.
What the hell, y'all?
What the hell, Leonte?
I completely forgot about that. Oh my gosh, my mind is blown. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I just feel like the book was good. It was entertaining. I liked it. Like I said, I don't know if I'd read it again, but it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Picking back up on that, I do appreciate the LGBT community representation in the book.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most books that talk about that, they kind of like present this as, here is a gay person.
Yeah.
But she just kind of talked about it like
it wasn't a factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So. Well, why don't we go ahead and give our ratings of the book? Personally, I think I will give the book a 3.5.
Okay.
Talking about it rose the score for me because I was fully ready to give it like a 2.75.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Give it an even 3.
All right.
Okay.
Give it an even 3.
Yeah.
I would give it a 3.75.
All right. Our rating is a 3.42 if you round it. 3.416.
Okay.
All right. That was The Art of Scandal
Period.
by Regina Black. Y'all go check it out and let us know what you all think in the comments about the book. And let us know if you liked it. And we'll catch y'all in the next book review.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.